We are currently in the middle of the quarantine life due to the coronavirus. One of the things that I've enjoyed about this time has been the ability to check out other church services online because many churches have had to resort to virtual services during this time. But I have to be honest, this is my experience. I go to the first church online, I check them out, and everything looks really professional and the video quality is great, and I immediately feel terrible. And then I go and I check out the second church online, and the pastor is saying a bunch of things that are just cringeworthy, and I wonder, how does this guy even have a job? And I feel better about myself. What's going on inside of me? In both cases, I'm comparing myself to another pastor, and I'm comparing my church to another church, and I'm either feeling better or worse about myself depending on how I measure up to them. That's such a dangerous place to be. It's dangerous personally because my self-worth goes up and down depending upon what I'm seeing and hearing. And it's also dangerous with regards to my ability to love my fellow pastor because instead of rejoicing when they're doing well and mourning when they're doing badly, I find myself rejoicing when they're doing badly and mourning when they're doing well. It's a bad place to be. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you instinctively measure yourself against how someone else looks or how their children are doing, or how much money someone else appears to have or how productive they are. And you immediately feel either better about yourself because after all, at least you're not like them, or you immediately feel worse about yourself because after all, who can measure up to them? How do we escape the comparison trap and learn to be content? In this video series, I just want to share some wisdom from the Bible that will hopefully help. In John chapter 21 is where I want to start. There's a story about Jesus after he's risen from the dead, and he appears to his disciple Peter and takes him aside to reinstate him after Peter's failures and to reinstate him as the leader of the church. And as they're walking along in John chapter 21, Jesus tells him about the kind of death he's going to die. And then he says to him, "Follow me." Stirring words, right? But in response, Peter looks around, he sees another disciple, John, and he asks Jesus this. He says, "Lord, what about him?" And Jesus answers, "If I want him to remain alive until I come again, what is that to you? You follow me." Jesus tells Peter to follow him. In response, Peter looks around, he finds another disciple, and he says, "What's your plan for that guy?" And Jesus responds by saying essentially, "What is that to you? You follow me." Basically, what I'm trying to tell you and what I'm trying to remind myself of as well is that when I find myself caught in the comparison trap, either feeling great about myself because at least I'm not like that guy, or feeling terrible about myself because I don't measure up to the other guy, I need to get back with Jesus, just me and him. And I need to ask him, what does it mean for me to be faithful to him? What is it that he is calling me to do? Who does he want me to be? The less that I worry about what other guys are doing, and the more that I'm concerning myself with what God is asking of me, the freer that I become from the comparison trap, and the better off that I am.